Alright, so instead of doing a C minor shaped 6 minor in the 2 box here, now forget about all the labels for a second, just look at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is your Dorian scale here. I'm going to take the capo off. I'm a octave down from where you'd play your D because I'm down tuned. So from that E I can access the D box. Okay, so this is the only real box I can access for, you know, in its entirety, because down in the C box here, obviously I can't. The C box is good, but it's the E box actually. It's the E box C, so I can't access the 7th there. So the D box is a good place to learn stuff. Okay, so it's just like that. That's your D box there. Now, so what we have is we have a D-shaped C there, a D-shaped root there. That root +1 just means it's up here. Okay, so we have a D-shaped root there. So that's kind of like this. Okay, in that D box, it'd be something like that. So the next cage shape up from D, from the caged where it starts caged over again, is going to be C minor shaped. So C minor shapes, A minor is going to be 3, 6, root 3, 6, and then root kind of borrowing into the, you know, back into the other cage, which would be the E cage there, in caged. Okay, this is a pentatonic advance. So caged advance, D goes to C. Pentatonic advance the other way goes in fourths. Okay, in fourths over here, so it would be D to G there. All right, cage every other letter you're going in fifths, so C to A to G. C is the fifth of G. Pentatonic every other letter you're going in fourths. D to G would be the fourth, but the next caged over is a pentatonic advance and a scale pentatonically. All right, so that borrows into that. It borrows the cage from the E cage. So let's kind of zoom out. So we're probably getting into too much detail here. So this is a good train. This is the first chart that I made with the modal cages. But what order are they in? How am I labeling them? This isn't a bad way to do it. Okay, but there's more to it. There's more to it. When we start getting into how they linked together. They're linked together differently than the normal cages. The normal cages, as you know, are linked together. If we look at the C cage here, so we've got, I'm just going to bar your fret nut here. All right, so the C cage, you got 3, 4, 5, and then the A cage links the 5 to the 6, and so on. The G cage links the 6, linked it by the 6, and the E cage linked by the 7 root, the D cage linked by the 2nd. There you go, D cage, and then C links to the D cage by 3, 4. That, and you can do it all on the bottom string. So that's how I figured it out. How are we going to link the long pattern? Okay, how are we going to link this long pattern caged wise? So first I've scoped out the cages. Okay, so we've got our Lydian cage here. We've got our C-shaped. We're on the 4th here. We've got an E-shaped 4th, and then we've got a C minor diminished 5th shaped 7th, and we got an A-shaped root here. 5 root 3. The C minor diminished shaped 7th is 7, 4, 6 there. Notice if we had, when we have the A major here, 5 root 3, we're going to drop it down a whole step. We're going to take its minor, and then we're going to diminish the 5th. Okay, so let's look at that again. We have 5 root 3. We're going to take 5 down to 4. We're going to take root down to 7. and we're going to take the 3 down to 2. Okay, so let's, if that was to be a minor, it would have been just a 5 to a B minor like that, you see, but we dropped it all the way to the 4th. That's our diminished 5th. So what we've got right here, it says C minus 5, but it's actually an A flat minus 5. Okay, so I've got to fix that. But I did fix it, just didn't back fix it. Luckily I've only got one chart to back fix on that one. So here we go. We're jettisoned now into chart like 296, and here it is in that 4 box. That 472 is actually an A minor shaped diminished 5th, 7 half diminished. Okay, and then the A shaped 5 root 3, and of course the E shaped 4th right there is root 4 6 right there, our A shaped 4. So we have a new cage. The new cage is the E cage, and the other cages have been adjusted too. Okay, to include the, now sometimes, I'll go ahead and go to the next shape up. So you can see this going to E, this goes to the D shape for the A shape 5, 2, 5, 7. We're using raw data in the new modal cages. We're using the raw numbers. We're not doing any substitutions right now. Okay, so these are all the raw numbers. So when we're looking at an A-shaped 5th, we're looking at 2, 5, 7. Whatever the key. 2, 5, 7 is D, G, E, B rather, in the key of C. But 2, 5, 7 would be B, E, and what's the 7th of G sharp, okay, in the key of A. Alright, so that's what's going on there. This stuff gets pretty complicated, and I kind of have to step back a minute. I want to show you what's happened here. So this is the latest chart. I call it the old 69er fretboard, and guess how many frets it has? Your first guess counts. 69 fretboard. Why do we have a 69 fretboard? I think there might be 1 or 2 people who know why that is. Starting down here on this 4, root minus 3, here's minus 1, minus 2. I don't even have that unless I start modulating the synthesizer. We only do that. We're way down here on this note. This note is part of, we call the Long John keyboard. I call it the Long John keyboard. 94 key piano. Why is it 94 keys? So we can go around the circle of sevenths. The magic circle of sevenths. Anywhere you start, you're going to be building sevenths. Let's start at C minor seventh. I only have this one down here. And then to D minor seventh. And then to E minor seventh. And then to F major seventh. So it covers the whole keyboard, and it happens to start with the 94 key keyboard. Starts on that super low F minor seventh. So it goes around the circle of the modal circle. It actually covers the whole thing. So F starts here. Then goes to G, to A minor 7th, B half diminished 7th, C major 7th, D minor 7th, E minor 7th. Okay, is the highest one, the highest. You could hardly hear that note. I'd have to turn it really loud to hear it. It sounds like the plinking of a little piece of metal or something, or something falling, to the ground, like chimes or something.